Hey, welcome back to Milton Daily Homes. Chuck here. We have a list of 10 properties today. This is actually my second time shooting this because I had a massive sneeze in the middle that knocked me for a loop and I had to stop. So this Saturday, the Milton buyer class, go to miltonbuyerclass.com. You can see it right down below. It's going to be the last one for a little while because we're retooling some of the information. So it would definitely not one in January or December, maybe February we start up. But if you are thinking about buying a home in the next 6 months, you're going to want to come this Saturday. We talk about the 3 incentives you can get for being a first-time buyer. We talk about how to get homes faster, real-life slides from home inspections. We talk about how to buy a home with zero down. We talk about all the steps and all the costs involved, and it's really, I'm very proud of the class. We've had over 500 people come, and your cost to get in is a food bank donation. That's it. We give you a manual, a big 50-page book that you can take home with you. And again, miltonbuyerclass.com. Let's start off with today's list. So Prosser is $419,900. It's a Bolton model. It's 1,275 square feet. If I could punch holes in this model at all, it's probably because there's only one bathroom upstairs, but the main floor has a kitchen with a pass-through window that looks over this big room here, and nice fireplace mantle. It looks like a gas fireplace there. So you've got your shared ensuite. So there's a door here that goes to the master, and then there's a door that goes out to the hall, and they've got a pretty nice finished basement. So it's probably not in the area where I'd consider it to be a super mega deal, but you know, there's not a whole lot out there right now. This one on Spire actually looks like it's very competitively priced. We're probably about 250 square feet larger, but without the finished basement. But I'd rather take this and then finish the basement and have more space. I like the main floor a little bit better on this one here. It just opens up a little bit more. The colors look good. You've got hardwood floors, California shutters, all the kind of finishes that people like. Laundry upstairs. It's a good floor plan. It's like a kind of a Croft side or an Emery model, but a little bit bigger. And I sold an Emery model, which is about 150 square feet smaller for that price earlier this year. So it kind of gives you an idea of how it's priced. Bussel Crescent, $434,900. And so it's a Ritz model, 1,865 square feet of total living space. Knock about $320,000 off of that for the finished basement. So what happens with this one that people either like or don't like is you kind of have to walk through the middle of the room in order to, you've got a door this side and that side, and then there's just one big room here. So it can work. I mean, you don't have a lot of space in the front. You've got a big open foyer. That's your main room. So how do you put your TV in the corner, and then you have couches? You kind of have to walk around the couches. The rooms upstairs are a good size. There's also a little bit of an office nook there, and then you've got your finished basement. Now, anytime you see that slope, guess what's behind? It's train tracks. So you do have a train coming. This is designed to dampen the sound that comes from the train, but you're still going to hear it, obviously. And the train probably, the height of it usually ends up being close to the height of the fence. It is, however, a much deeper lot, and the kids love to toboggan on this hill here. So it can provide some benefit for families there. Agnew Crescent, $509,000. It's a semi-detached. It's quite a large semi-detached. Same kind of idea as the home we just showed on Bussel, is that you kind of have this big room. The thing is, this space is so big though that you really could separate into 2 spaces. And then you've got your kitchen. It's weird, they don't show any shots of the kitchen here. You do back onto green space, and I know the neighbors on this side, and they're lovely people. So big house, decent price, but it's kind of plain. It's just a big box semi with some green space behind. Rose Heath is $569,000, and so it's a double car garage. We're going to see another home on Rose Heath that doesn't have pictures, that's listed for $70,000 less than this one, with the basement apartment. So there's some nice finishes in here. It looks very tasteful. It's a little bit of an artistic shot with the depth of field, the kind of blurred behind. If that's your thing, that's cool. It does look like they've definitely spent some money in this home. The homes on Rose Heath were kind of built in towards the mid to late 90s, or sorry, 80s, mid to late 80s. Bit of parquet floors upstairs, and you've got a big home theater. And so here's the thing. I want to tell you how I really feel about this home, but
I can't. Because if I see these things, I can't ever take them back.
Next up is Duff Crescent, 639, and so about 60 square feet. You've got a nice, impressive looking staircase. Whenever you have a home that opens up like this right in the front, if you have the iron pickets, the nice looking stairs, it's going to create a nice impression. So it's a good floor plan. The finishes are nice. The blinds, nice effect here, a bit of a darker stain on the blinds. It looks good. Tray ceiling in the master, double sinks. They've done the important finishes, and there's even a bit of a finished area downstairs. I like this one. The floor plan is fantastic. It's on a reasonably quiet street, and I think the price, again, not a deal, but I think it's not that far off from what they could get. Combs seems a little bit high to me. It's one of my favorite floor plans. It's called a Mattamy Wild Rose. You're about 3,200 square feet, 3,186, I think, as per the plans. Mattamy house, and so you've got kitchen with the family room that's in the back. Then you've got a dining room, and down this little hallway, there's a separate living room, and then upstairs you also have a den. There's your dining room there. They don't really show the front room, but they show the room above that. Right here. So some people have this enclosed as a 5th bedroom. Other people decide to leave it open as a den or home office, kids play area, video game room, whatever you want to do with it. You know, I like, the street is good, the home is good. This is nice too. You have a covered porch to barbecue just off the kitchen. But I've seen a lot of these homes sell for a lot less than this, so the price may be a little bit off base. It's not 3,300 square feet though, guaranteed. Don't believe everything you read in the description. We've got Milton Court at 980, triple car garage. You're on about 2 acres. So you've got, it's kind of in an estate subdivision. It's not bad inside. It's got a finished basement, 4 bedrooms. We have seen there was a 3-bedroom in the area that sold in the 800s. Now, depending on how this compares on size, because the value of a home is more about the square footage than whether or not there's 4 bedrooms or 3. What I always say to people is 4 bedrooms is going to open your audience up a little bit more. You've got your pool, even the landscaping. People spend, between the pool and landscaping, you're over 100 grand for homes like this. You don't always get that back when it's time to sell. So it would depend on how it looks in person, but I've seen a lot of homes struggle in this area, being in the 900 to $1 million, and even the $1 million plus, whereas they go a little bit faster in the 8s. The thing about the rural, even estate subdivisions like this, you could have a well-priced home and it takes you 3 or 4 months to sell it just because of the speed of that market. It's a lot different than townhouses that sell in a week in Milton. Okay, so next one up is Bronte. It says it has some renovations. I don't see any pictures available yet. It's at $299, which is kind of in that in-between range. Normally the more basic ones are going between about $270 and maybe $300. The renovated ones go from $300 to maybe $325 or so. So sitting at $299, depending on how upgraded they are, they could be in a good spot. It's a nice walking distance from a lot of areas where you can go have a bite to eat. Memphis barbecue, you could have pizza, you could go to La Rose. And this is the other one on Roseheath. I just don't have pictures of it though. The nice thing here, and the thing that I definitely want to check, is that finished basement with in-law suite. So it says in compliance. Now that's a loose wording. I don't know what that means, because there are some basement suites that are grandfathered, but there's a lot of changes happening with rules for basement apartments, in-law, second suites. So you definitely want some clarification about that. You know, there's insurance ramifications if it's not a true legal basement apartment. What's happening, very simply, we've talked about this in many Milton Daily Homes episodes, is the province has said we need to fit 1 million people in Halton region. That's the places to grow.ca. You can read all about it. So they're forcing municipalities now to say, look, we know basement apartments exist. We need you guys to allow them, but we've obviously got to have a set of standards. Now, my understanding is the municipalities are deciding how they're going to have it happen, but they do need to allow it much more than they have in the past. So what we're starting to see in places like Hamilton is there's levies against landlords. So there's a bit of extra cost, like a registration fee. We're also seeing, moving forward, I think you're safe if you've got the parking requirements, you comply with the building code and the fire code, and which is a little less than what you've needed up to this point. If you want some more information about that, I've got a link that you can read some more. Just email me back. And remember, miltonbuyerclass.com, right there down below. And I promise you will have one of the best experiences of your entire buying experience, because you're going to know a lot more when you leave. Have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.